Hello, this is CK7 with another commentary for this time on the non-Disney Villain Tournament Round 6. Again, sorry for all the delays and all. I've been busy with school and work and helping my parents around the house. But also, my laptop has been acting very strange and all, and so it's been really screwing up from time to time. And I just finished that music video that I've been telling you guys about. And I've also just uploaded it today, so if you guys haven't seen it yet, you might want to, whenever you have the time, you could go ahead and check it out. So yeah, might as well go ahead and start this next round. And by the way, since this is the live action round, it may be pretty hard for me to comment on, because a lot of these villains I'm not familiar with, because I watch a lot of animated movies and very few live action. I mean, I do watch a lot of live action movies, but a lot of the movies you're using, I hardly watch. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. We start 20 years ago with Sauron versus Voldemort. Good fight. Really good. I think it's pretty epic that you have one of the main villains from Lord of the Rings fight one of the main villains from Harry Potter. Even though, like I said, I never watched Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings. I mean, I don't hate them. They just never really appealed to me that much. I've only seen the first movie of both franchises. However, I do find it very fascinating that that Voldemort inserted the Horcrux, I think is what it's called, into the One Ring, which already has a chunk of Sauron in it. And now it's in the hands of Ramesses. So, holy cow, that is intense. I mean, Ramesses was already bad before. Now he's part Sauron and Voldemort in one. I mean, I can't even imagine that. I mean, the only thing that would make it more insane is if it... Oh, I just thought of something interesting. What if Mok somehow got a hold of the One Ring? I mean, could you imagine Mok being more insane than he already is? I can't even picture that. But yeah, I mean, maybe you could do something like that. Maybe Mok gets a hold of the One Ring. Like, you could use the scene from Rock and Roll where in the beginning of the film, he uses that ring to find the one voice and all that as the One Ring. That would be pretty awesome and epic. But yeah, this was a good fight, I'll have to say. Even though these are both movie franchises that I never really watched that much. Alright, now we cut to the present day, where we have Count Olaf versus Willard. Nice to see Count Olaf. Okay, I will have to admit with history buff, he's not really that good of a villain, I guess, but he is Jim Carrey, so yeah.
Jim Moriarty. Hi.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that was Jim Moriarty from the BBC Sherlock series, I'm assuming. Never seen the movie Willard, but from what History Buff explained, it sounds like a pretty intense story. How he uses rats as an army.
You made me hate myself. Right now, this moment,
Yeah, I'm just kind of watching this right now. But yeah, this was a really creative fight, and very well edited, like just like how History Buff explained. How, yeah, Count Olaf, he has white shirt and brown or black vest, and the boss is wearing the same clothes. So yeah, very good editing there. Now we have the Master from Doctor Who versus Agent Smith from The Matrix. Never seen the Matrix movies, but from what a friend of mine said, it's a pretty good movie. As for Doctor Who, to be honest, I never watched the show, but a lot of people say it's a really good show, so maybe if I ever have time I could check it out. Also, I've noticed that you're using a few BBC TV shows like Sherlock, Doctor Who, Supernatural, and I'm kind of wondering, and I may have asked you this before, I mean, I've asked Manu and Windman if they can use this as well. But so far, they said they... Okay, there's not a lot of shows on BBC I watched, but there is one show that I really like, and I mean, it is one of the most awesome shows that BBC has made. It is called Primeval. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, but it's a really good show. Basically what it is, it's about these rips in time called anomalies that open up, allowing creatures from the past and the future to roam wild in modern-day Britain. This team of scientists had to go capture these creatures and return them to their anomalies. And it's a really good show. I mean, it's neat to see what prehistoric and futuristic creatures they use. I mean, some of the creatures can count as villains, I guess. But there are a few human villains. Like, one villain I mentioned before was Helen Cutter. She was an anti-hero in Series 1 and 2, and she becomes a villain in Series 3. And she does have some bit of footage that I think could be usable in this series. I think it'd be really cool to see her. So, yeah, it'd just be really neat. And yeah, this part kind of confused me a little, but after hearing the description, I guess it does make a little more sense. The Master is now disguised as Agent Smith or something like that. That's a very bad way to go. Alright, now we have Norman Stansfield from The Professional versus Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men. Don't really have anything to say about this fight, mainly because I haven't seen either of these movies. I haven't even heard of them. But this Norman Stansfield character, he seems kind of interesting. I mean, he is Gary Oldman, but yeah, I've never seen the movie he's from, nor the other. So, yeah, I don't really have anything to say about this fight, other than it was well edited. A lot of people seem to like this Stansfield, though, because I noticed, I don't know, I guess I noticed a couple of, like, avatar signs on the forum of him. I also saw him in the newest villain tournament, the movie villain war, made by, Scarecrow Sedil, or whatever his name is. Okay, that was just pretty epic right there. Pretty brutal. And now we have Beetlejuice versus Pennywise the Clown from It. Again, neither of these movies I've seen. I mean, I may have seen parts of Beetlejuice, but I haven't seen the whole thing. And I've never seen It, but I have watched the Nostalgia Critic review of it. So, okay, that's just pretty creepy. I guess this is why so many people are afraid of clowns, because of watching this movie. But I do know it's Tim Curry that does play as this clown. But I too am surprised he didn't use any sound bits of Pennywise, because he does have a few interesting sound bites, especially the scene where he's in the library, I think, and he's mocking one of the main characters and doing that really obnoxious laugh. I thought that was pretty hilarious, though. But yeah, I've never seen either of these films. All I know is that these are creepy villains. Okay, this is the fight I was actually waiting and excited to see. Lord Blackwood from Sherlock Holmes versus William Tavington from The Patriot. The reason I was excited for this fight is mainly because I did not expect you to use these two villains. I don't know, they just seem like villains I never expect to see in a villains tournament. But it's good, it's really good. Even though these two villains are like hundreds of years apart. I figured Tavington would win, unfortunately. It's been a while since I've seen The Patriot. I've only seen it once, and it was like in my 11th grade U.S. history class. But all I do remember is that I hated Tavington. Seriously, he's one of those villains I really did not like because of how ruthless he was. Basically, you know, like Tyler. Like Tyler, Tavington is just a ruthless brute who doesn't give a care about anyone. So I hope he gets killed later on. Although I think it'd still be cool if he was used in Disney vs. 90s villains. Alright, now we have Dorian Gray from The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen versus the Largos siblings from Repo, the Genetic Opera. And yes, again, two movies I've never seen before. Wow, how did he heal those scars so quickly? Although a friend of mine said he saw Repo and he said it was an interesting film, but I don't know. And this part confused the heck out of me. I mean, I get it. If he looks into the painting, it kills him. But why would you look at it? Couldn't you just close your eyes and look away? I mean, seriously. Kind of like that scene from Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. And now I have Prince Nuada from Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, versus, oh my gosh, Lord Zedd from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Seriously? Seriously? Okay, here's my issue. Thing is, I never liked Power Rangers, okay? I mean, I hate Power Rangers as much as History Buff hates My Little Pony. That's how much I hate it. My brother is like obsessed with the show, or at least he was. I mean, I don't think he's as obsessed now, but when he was younger, this is all he ever watched. Not just Mighty Morphin, but any Power Ranger series. And it really gets on my nerves. I mean, it's so cheesy, it's so lame, it's so horribly done. I mean, yeah, I just don't see the purpose of it. And they keep making so many series of it. I mean, when are they ever going to stop? You'd think with modern computers we can make it better, but no, we can't. For some reason. I mean, I guess some of the villains from the Power Rangers series were okay-ish, but this one, not in my opinion. I mean, like, for example, Mesogog from Dino Thunder. He probably would be an awesome villain if, in fact, he wasn't from Power Rangers. So yeah, I was rooting for Nuada, even though I'd never seen Hellboy 2. So yeah. And finally, T-1000 from Terminator 2 Judgment Day versus Carl Rebrand Cronin from Hellboy, the first Hellboy movie. I've never seen any of the Hellboy movies, and I've never even seen any of the Terminator movies. But from what History Buff explained, this robot-looking dude, it brings a lot of controversy, because he basically was a real... I mean, besides the fact he was a robot, he was a real, like, Nazi that once existed, because of... Ugh, that's gross. Anyway, yeah, it's just interesting. But this is a pretty good fight. Even, again, I haven't seen either of these films. But yeah, we have Nazis in the live-action realm as well. Well, that should be interesting. We have Nazis in the animated and the live-action. All we need now are Nazis in the CGI realm, if that's even possible. Now we go to the epic vlog, where we have Stansfield with Moriarty. I still think it'd be cool if you feature villains from Primeval in the series. That'd be awesome. And Willard gets killed by his own rats. This is one of the few times we have a villain get killed in an epilogue. I mean, there were a couple times in Disney Villain Wars that this happened. So yeah. And we have Durza from Aragon. That's awesome. Even though a lot of people didn't seem to like Aragon, but I think it's cool that he's in this series. And of course, Golem from Lord of the Rings. And we have Snape with Voldemort and the Death Eaters. Yeah, I never considered Snape as a villain, even though, like I said, I never watched all the Harry Potter films, but I didn't really think of him as a villain, from what I did see. And we have Terminators. Besides T-1000, we have T-X from Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines, and T-800 from the Terminator. And then we have the Creepy faction, made up of Freddy Krueger, Beetlejuice, the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers and Jeepers Creepers 2, and the upcoming Jeepers Creepers 3 Cathedral, I think is what it's called. As well as, Jin, I think is how you pronounce his name, from Wishmaster, and as well as the 3 sequels, Evil Never Dies, Beyond the Gates of Hell, and The Prophecy Fulfilled. And here we have the Wicked Witch of the West, and Prothean from Dungeons & Dragons, and Bavmorda from Willow. A wizardry faction. That should be interesting. And here we have probably the most, like, horrifying and most, I guess for a lack of a better term, uncomfortable alliance in the series. The devilish, demonic faction made up of Angel Gabriel from Constantine, Lilith from Case 39, and Lucifer from Supernatural. Yeah, this is a bit odd, because we're actually including the devil himself in a villain's tournament. That should get intense. So yeah, this is my commentary on the non-Disney Villain Tournament, Round 6. I cannot wait till the next round for this series, because from what it looks like, it's going to be an extremely long round. And I'm going to have to assume that History Buff's commentary for that round is going to be the very first 1 hour commentary, maybe even longer than an hour. So, yeah, this was my commentary on Non-Disney Villain Tournament Round 6, and I will eventually do my commentary on Disney vs. Non-Disney Villains Part 2 Round 9, but I'll do it after they release Part 2 of it, because I'd rather do both parts in the same commentary. It just seems proper that way. So yeah, I will see you all then.